Cancers have the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Temperance. So a lot of you Cancers are willing to let some people walk off and go out into the world and let them do their own thing that you were trying to get to know. I just see that a lot of people tend to be hard-headed because they trying to play themselves up, trying to make it seem like they're better than you. But a lot of you Cancers, again, the Temperance, a lot of you Cancers are willing to allow them to do it because you know that they're going to go out there and mess themselves up anyway. Because that's kind of what happens when a lot of people tend to overvalue themselves, overprice themselves, right? And when I say a price, I'm not necessarily talking about financial money. I'm talking about asking, right? Like, what is the person asking? You Cancer Crabs had some people, you've met some people that ask a little bit too much from you. And you Cancer Crabs are not really willing to pay the price because you Cancer Crabs, again, the Temperance, you understand your own self-importance and your own standards that you have, right? Your own value. A lot of you Cancers bring a lot to the table. When your mind and your heart is in the correct place, a lot of you Cancers bring a lot to the table. So you're willing to let people walk off or you go off in your own direction because you're not interested in playing, like I said, the games. And the Two of Wands and the King of Cups is about just that. Because you know what it is that you're looking for. You're looking for something in particular. Now, again, it's not money. You're looking for someone that actually likes you, right? Someone that actually wants to be with you in the first place, and not someone that's going to just be around grasping at your riches and grasping, looking to use you for your body and all this other type of nonsense, but doesn't actually have respect for you, right? Because you make all these sacrifices anyway, you know what I mean? Part of the reason why you Cancer Crabs are kind of the way that you are is because you have a lot of things that you have to sacrifice. So it's like that type of stuff can drive you crazy anyway, right? It'll drive anybody crazy. But then you have the Tower, and the Tower and the Three of Wands represents some of you Cancer Crabs. You're really not limited to the geographical location that you're in. You can essentially leave the entire country if that's something that you Cancer Crabs wanted to do. It's just that right now you're giving people kind of a try. You're giving them a shot, at winning the basketball championships, if you know what I mean. You're giving them a shot at you. And you're still willing to date. It's just that this newfound level of respect that you Cancer Crabs have for yourself is not necessarily something that you are accustomed to. And what I mean by that is the idea that you like a few years ago in 2021, some of you Cancer Crabs would have sacrificed yourself so much to make someone else happy, to the point where it is extortion. Plain and simple, it would have been extortion. But for you Cancer Crabs, you realize that you got to stop doing that. You know what I mean? So the Six of Swords now represents how, because of it, the Six of Swords is about how you're willing to get people, you're willing to get to know people and give them a fair chance, but you're not willing to over sacrifice, right? You're not willing to overdo it just to get to know somebody. Like, nobody is that important to the point where you're willing to over sacrifice. You're willing to allow yourself to be used and misused and taken advantage of in that, in an extortionist type of way. You Cancer Crabs are not willing to do that because you have value. So the Ten of Pentacles is about Ten of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands represents some of these things that you're cutting back, because you Cancer Crabs, if you really like the person, you Cancer Crabs would have had the person tell you what they wanted, or you would have put up with a lot of their stuff at the very beginning, because we know that you Cancer Crabs are very patient. So you Cancer crabs may have put up, or you may have been willing to put up with a lot. That's my dog down there. May have been willing to put up with a lot of nonsense. But the situation with that is, that's the problem though, because you would have done it. But now it's not a problem, because you Cancer crabs understand that you can't allow yourself to be put in that type of situation so much, compromising yourself and willing to be put up there on the cross and crucified, just because people are asking you or they want you to do that. And the Five of Wands represents, it's going to make you feel good. It's making you feel good at the fact that, you finally have some sort of wits about you as to when enough giving is enough, because nobody wants to feel like that. But let's clarify the Temperance. So to clarify the Temperance, right, you have the Ten of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands, to clarify the Temperance. So the Ten of Cups and the Two of Cups is about how it is that, and this is all wrapped up in self-value. You have to have self-respect. If you want to be taken seriously, you have to respect yourself, not in a delusional, inflated sense of self, but a more down-to-earth, respectable sense of self, right? And the Ten of Cups and the Two of Cups represents, again, that's something that a lot of you Cancers are just now starting to learn, but you're learning it very quickly. And if a person is not going to step to you correctly, right, like they have some form of common sense, well, a person who's going to step to you correctly wouldn't even be stupid enough to even ask you to sacrifice yourself just so that you can get a chance to get at them. They wouldn't even ask you to do that, because they don't even think from that level to try to get people to fall on their own sword, metaphorically speaking. You always have to say that, because you're never talking about it physically, but whatever. The Five of Pentacles and the Five of Wands represents, and that's really going to have some people mess themselves up, because you will be able to see some people really fall on their own sword, metaphorically speaking. I always have to say that, metaphorically speaking, because of the way that they are interacting with you. They will ask you for a lot. They will want you to jump through hoops. So what's next? Let's clarify the Ten of Pentacles. Matter of fact, let's clarify the King of Cups. Let's clarify that. And yes, Cancer crabs, never allow yourselves to be used to that extent, right? Like, people go overboard. People want a mile out of an inch. And what I mean by that is, look, sacrifice, okay? Be willing to go out of your own way sometimes. But don't be willing to go out of your own way when you know it's too much to ask for. It's too big of a sacrifice. You have to know. You have to set a limit, a boundary on when you're willing to sacrifice and how much. If a person is trying to get you to jump through hoops, they're trying to get you to make too much of a sacrifice by jumping through these hoops and these problems. So guess what you got to do? You got to say no to that. And a lot of you Cancers have said no. So to clarify the King of Cups, the Two of Swords, the King of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and then you have the Moon. Some of these people that you've been interacting with played blind to your needs and play blind to what you want. And they basically, they don't have respect for your life. You Cancer crabs want someone that has respect for life, has the ability to be considerate. It's not everything is about them. The Four of Swords and the Moon is about, the Four of Swords and the Moon is about how, well, because since that's the case, you Cancer crabs also have to understand that the person that you should be looking out for as well is someone that can keep the relationship between you and them as private as much as possible, because the more people that enter into your relationships is the worse it gets. But also someone that has a certain level of respect for themselves, to where they have some sort of internal compass, right? They have direction. They're not just going to be okay with being a parasite. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Smash the subscribe button, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.